What's up, y'all? Funk from the front seat. Welcome aboard. Hucklebuck, sucker. When you're taking every kind of pill, y'all. I need y'all to get up. Welcome to another edition of Funk from the front seat. Right here on 9 on the Grind TV. Funky Telecky, how's your funk? Today, our very special guest out of the Detroit, Mr. G-Rock Greg Sanders is in the house. So y'all put your hands together. I need everybody to clap your hands like this. Come on. Name that feeling. Woo! The Detroit's in the house. New York City. Are y'all out there? Strong Island. Where you at? Yeah. Georgia. Ohio. Tennessee. West Virginia and Virginia. My family's there, y'all. North Carolina, South Carolina, woo, Texas, where you at? Houston Dog, woo, woo. New Orleans, where you at? My dumpster funksters. Yeah, man. What's up, Philly Dilly? Dr. Brookenstein, I love you, bro. MPLS, Minneapolis. California, West Coast. How y'all doing? What's up, Washington State, Portland, Utah, North and South Dakota? Let's go across the water. Australia, down under. How you doing, mate? What's up, Carmen? What's up, Wendy? I love y'all. Woo! Germany, how you doing? All around the world. Funk from the front seat. Welcome to the show. I want y'all to sit back, relax, and let's have a good old time today. Our very special guest today, none other than G-Rock, Mr. Greg Sanders is in the house. I'm your host, number 9, right here on 9 on the Grind TV. Welcome to the show. Let me put on my sunglasses so I can see what they ain't funkin' looking at. Yeah, man, it's been a week, right? Woo! I love to do that roll call. It gets my energy going. All you guys out there and girls, make sure you stay on the chat. Weekend Funk, I see you, bro. You ready? We're going to bring in right now our guest today, G-Rock, Mr. Greg Sanders out of the D. He might be in the house. I know we was working on some things a minute ago, so we're going to hang out until we get him in. But we're going to make sure we shout out Benevolent Funk, Otis Hawk. You know, thank you. Always on the one. Tony Cam, I love you. Joe Keys, Philip Coley, I love you. Patty, Bootsy Curtis, P-Funk Radio. I love all the Funketeers and all the sponsors out there. Thank you so much, Mr. Bill Tresvan, and all the funky people tuning in to help keep this show and support this show and keep it afloat. God is good, bringing in all kinds of good news all the time, you know, and a special granted shout to my main man, Mark Lee, my main man behind the glass, my brother from another mothership. Mark Lee back there keeping things smooth, keeping the show running, graphics and things like that, videos and all the stuff that I need to get done. Mark helps get it done. One of the hardest working men on show business. Yes, yes, yes. So we started this funky journey last May. It's almost been a year, man, and it's amazing. And again, our special guest today is Mr. Greg Sanders. He's working on some stuff. You know, we're working on his end, you know, making sure that we get that tech stuff popping so we can get the brother on. We got a lot to talk about. You know how we do in the front seat. There's never no rush. Shout out to my beautiful babies, Maya. Shout out, you know, Kayla doing their thing or whatever. Love you down in Georgia. Love my fam over there. The other Robertsons, you know, I love y'all. You know, so yeah, check it out. Prayers to my friend Kevin and my brother, you know, and prayers to Kim Calhoun, you know, and prayers to the Mack family out of Durham, North Carolina. Miss Mack was 101 years old. She's a integral part of some of the businesses and black-owned stuff that was happening here in Durham. So I just wanted to acknowledge her because I knew her and I actually lived there for a minute, you know, when I was renting a room from her. So that's kind of cool. You like the hat? Yeah, you could get the hat. Oh, DJ Yannick, yeah, you got a shout out. You know that. DJ Yannick's in the house. He wants the hat. This one my daughters gave me, but you know what, bro? I collect so many hats. So I look into my collection. I got well over 200, believe it or not. So I look in my hat collection and I'll make sure I hook you up with one. You just gotta send me a Addy. I've always just wanted hats and T-shirts, and that's what I always ask people to send me. They give me, and wherever someone goes, I make sure I get a hat wherever I've gone. Um, you know, Hawk and radiation. Tell me a little bit more about that. I do have some thoughts about some things that we're dealing with, but tell me a little bit more about that because I'm not familiar with that term or what's going on. So hit me back. Stay active on the thread, DJ. And we'll make that happen. I love that, Yannick. That's really cool, man. I love when everybody's interactive. Again, today we got Mr. Greg Sanders coming on. We're just working on some tech issues. You know how Sir Knows is. You can't really help tech issues, but we always putting out great information. We always doing the right thing. We want peace, love, and harmony for everybody that watches this show. So I need everybody to just think about that for a minute. Take a step back. Take a deep breath. If you're feeling some kind of way, or if you had a birthday, or if you lost somebody, um, you know, please just understand that we care. Oh, you talking about the moon thing or whatever? See, now I got to look into that. There are a lot of theories on things like that. And you know what? Why don't we do this, DJ? We'll set up a whole show. You can come on, be a guest, and we chop it up and get into it. All right. You can either come on my one Saturday or I do the other one on IBM TV on Sunday. You're welcome to pop on that because it is a lot of weird things happen in the universe. And I like your thought process because you know what I'm about. You can see. Oh, I'll show you my tats over here. You can see there's a lot of things out here that we don't know. I personally have seen things, but I ain't never been to the moon. Yeah, I know you laughing, you funny, you don't know a thing about that. But Mark, what's up, Dr. Mark? My main man. I love you, Mark. I'll be out to see you in a little while later. My other friend Mark, take care of your back, brother. Know that I love you, man. But yeah, life is funny because here we are. Um, that's funny. Here we are, 1 year almost removed from what we thought was such a horrific event, and we all been through it. We all know somebody that had it. We all know somebody that lost from it. We're trying to stay safe. There's so many opinions out there right now. This is the only thing I can say about our current situation when it comes to the things that we're doing. Funky mushrooms, I know. I never mess with mushrooms, believe it or not. That wasn't my thing. Now THC and LSD and that kind of stuff, blood acid and all that. I was all in back in the day. I did my share party. And it's funny. I was just telling Mark how me and a friend of mine from Florida how hard we used to party for days, not like a day, for days, with 3, 4, 5 days. But again, story for another show. What happens in the front seat stays in the front seat. So anyway, there are a lot of opinions about things that are going on in the world. And all I can say is, in all honesty, stick to whatever you believe is going to be best for you. That's the most important thing we can do as human beings. We got to stick to the things that are going to be um, fruitful, feed your spirit and your soul, and make sure that um, you're not hurting and harming others by your actions. The mantra of all my shows: peace, love, and harmony, because that's what I think we should be about right now. We've had enough stuff happening, and we got some things right now pending, and this is something very important. You guys, please do not sleep on how they're trying to tinker and mess with the voting rights and regulations. While one hand is giving you a stimulus check, just make sure we still pay attention to our local elections. They're the most important elections we can have besides our national ones, because they're the ones that are going to decide what's going on with your voting rights. They're trying to move the red line, this line, that line. Y'all know all this stuff that we just went through. That fight is not over just because Biden and Kamala Harris is in the White House. That is a daily fight. We must continue to fight that fight because there's no way. No one in this country, white, black, green, purple, that has a rational mind and believes in justice wants us to go back to the days of Jim Crow. That will not be good. So all of the people that are not really feeling that, God bless you. I'm going to love you anyway. And just know that I'm never going to hate on you. Just don't try to hurt me, because then there will be some war. I'm an Aries. We do know how to make war. So, if you ever run across the Aries, just for your own personal information, try to befriend them. Don't ever get an Aries as an enemy, because we ain't never going to forget. And I say that to say, as long as nobody's harming my friends and you guys out there in the audience and all the people I love and care about, have at it. Do what you want. Just don't hurt people. I think that's what God wants us to know. Do not hurt people. That's why we got a wake up call, because we were hurting each other emotionally. We were hurting each other physically. We were hurting each other in our heart and our spirit. We were bringing each other so far down that it had to bottom out at some point. And not that things are over, but just know that we have to work together. We have to reach across and help another brother or sister. I don't care what their color, race, creed is. We have to do that. If someone's trying to hurt you, that's a different story. But basically, it's about sharing of information. Systemic racism is a very real thing. It can take control and has taken control and has been in full effect since this place was founded. So we're still fighting that as brown skinned people, as Mexicans, as Native Americans, who have had it far worse than all of us can even imagine, because this is actually their country. So just keep that in mind. When you go out today, later on, and you see somebody that needs help, offer a kind hand, a kind thought, a kind word. Kindness is for free. Kindness is absolutely for free. It doesn't take anything to be kind. We all have our edge to us. Trust me, I know. I ain't perfect. I got edges. Trust me, I got many edges. You know what I'm saying? But as I've gained some wisdom over the years, I've understood how to interact with people that I may disagree with, in a positive way. And then if it don't work out, you both leave. Nobody's none the lesser. You just keep it moving. So again, Funk from the Front Seat, not on the Grind TV. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. Stay active on the chat line. I'm waiting on Mr. Greg Sanders out of the D. Must be some technical issues coming out of the Midwest, but don't you worry. Sir knows devoid of funk will never ever stop the funk flow. So right now I'm going to ask my man Mark Lee to jump on, because I do have a question for him about what's been going on while he's waiting on Mr. Sanders and we're waiting on Mr. Sanders. Mark, say hello
Yes.
to everybody, Mark. My producer, Mr. Mark Lee, and director and the man behind the glass. And thank you, Mark, for fixing the graphics, our new graphics we started last week behind us. You guys can see that's my brand,
Yeah.
even though it's many brands, but it is my brand. Nappy
Yes.
Head Funk Army. That is me. That's what I do. That's what I believe in. And believe it or not, yes, I'm a hybrid. Don't be scared of me. I won't do you no harm. What's up, Mr. Lee? You looking good, baby? You got the
I'm
beard
doing,
trimmed up?
got it trimmed up. Still want to go get a little bit more trimmed up, so I might go see him next week. But still looking good and everything. Still enjoying things of all that nature. I was actually going to see if you've got, because I know we were talking about it backstage, our guest number and everything. Because I can tell, oh, there he goes. G Rock has popped into the house. We just talked him
There
up.
we go, man.
We talked G Rock up.
G Rock.
Let's bring G Rock in and see if we can't get him into the house and we can go on. But yeah, things are going well here. But let's bring G Rock into the house.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? From the deep, G Rock. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, brother. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm so happy to see you. Mark, I'll get back at you in a minute, bring you back on and let you ask a question later on. But yeah, welcome to the show. G Rock, Funk from the Front Seat, out of the D. You looking clean, brother. How are you and your family doing up there, man? And what's happening with you?
Everybody's doing good, man. Thank you, bro, for having me on today. It's all good, man.
Hey,
You know,
man, we a funk family.
when you wake up every day, man, and you know you're doing funk, it's like a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? This is all
Yo,
I do. You know what I mean?
playing the funk shine, funking in the funk shine, man. We got a lot to talk about today, but let's start. Actually, we knew each other on Facebook, but never talked or whatever, right? And
Right.
again, thank you. G Rock is on with us. Greg Sanders, funky as hell, hanging out with us from the D. And you know about the D, all you funk heads. So I don't even got to explain that to you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yo, Curtis Wilcox we have that brother in common, man. And tell me how you and Curtis kind of got together before we tell our story how we met.
Oh my God, dude! It's like when I joined Facebook, I'm a late bloomer on Facebook, because
Same.
I was worried about that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I joined about 2014, and for some reason, man, me and him, we couldn't, he either I friended him or he friended me. But I had a group called Gorilla Funk Mob.
Right.
And the whole thing, I was always trying to get like a comic, with gorillas and all that kind of stuff going on. I had a real good concept about, the Galactic Gorilla thing. And
Yeah.
I friended Curtis, or he friended me, and we got to talking. And I told him about that, man. And it's like, before I knew it, he was sending me stuff that was in my head, you know what I mean? It was like he had the gorillas, he had the concepts, he was bringing that to me.
Yeah.
And we got into it, and I said, "Look, man, I want to do something where I do the comic strip thing on YouTube. I do the soundtrack, and what we started doing is he started sending me like different pictures and everything on the messenger." And I would just write the comic, the little bubbles, right. The comic.
Yeah.
And I got a guy out of Florida. His name was Will Blackhawk Robinson, and he had a company called Blackhawk Media.
Okay.
And he ended up taking the comic strip, putting my soundtrack together, and making it flow like a little mini movie. So we started doing that. Wow. We started doing that on YouTube first. And basically, man, Curtis we got each other famous because he was doing all kinds of artwork on me, and then he was taking my CD and sending it to like P-Funk, Funkster Jones, and all the P-Funk people and everything. And before I knew it, I was, it was working, man. Yeah, Curtis is deep.
Yo, Curtis is deep, yeah. And it's funny because he had friended me. And it was months before, because sometimes I don't check who's friended me, right? And right. I kept seeing his work, and I knew the name. I was like, Curtis Woodcroft, because I see this name everywhere. And I knew he had been doing stuff for Garrett. You know what I mean? And I saw some of Garrett's work, and I was like, wow, this is really tight. I can see he's kind of, because matter of fact, when Stozo is finished with his new album, Stozo and Curtis agreed to both come on the show at the same time. So we could all chat it up. Yeah. And I'll let you know when that's coming, man. For sure. That's going to be like sometime this summer. But getting back to the story, Curtis, so he was there and I kept seeing him, but I didn't friend him for some reason because I was just like doing so much other stuff, right? Not that I was dissing him. And then when I realized, I was like, oh, this is the same cat that was doing Garrett's stuff. So I immediately friended him. I was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I was like, yo, man, I didn't realize who you were, And Curtis, he got that voice. I love his voice. I always imitate his voice. Yeah, man, it's all right, good. He said, send me some, right. Yeah, he said, send me some stuff. Yeah, right. So we started hitting it off with the alien thing. And then before I knew it, he was just doing work for me. And, and I was like, yo, man, I love it all. He took our Nappyhead concept and put it in some great places, man. So that's pretty cool that we met through him. You know what I mean? Because he called me. Yeah, he called me and said, yo, you got to get Greg on. And I was like, yo, not a problem at all, man. So that's mad cool, man. So good.
Mad cool.
Yeah.
So, we started on YouTube, like I said, man, and then we ended up, now we got this. The comic.
Could you hold that up to the camera? Could you hold that closer? And that's Galactic Gorillas, right?
Yeah. Can you see
that's
it?
Tight. Yes, we can.
And I'm talking to Milestone Comics right now, and they're trying to pick us up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got a few. I go to like the cartoon festivals and comic book festivals. Like I went to the what they call it, the Ike and Mike.
Yeah.
I went to that, and I got a few connections and everything. So. Hopefully next year I'll be at Comic-Con or something, man, with Curtis and stuff.
Yeah, they have that down here. This is like a big thing. I'm from New York, but I live in North Carolina. And bro, when they do Raleigh's Comic-Con, it shuts down the whole city. You know, so that may be something you want.
Detroit has it too. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. All these places that have it. Yeah. You know what's funny? I never really knew what that was until somebody told me. And then I was picking them up driving Uber. I was like, wow, what is it? It's early Halloween or something. But yo, I love stuff like that. It is such a spiritual thing, you know. And you're a funk head, and the P Funk with all of their artwork, with obviously, you know, Pedro Bell and you know Stozo and you know all the great artists that they've done. Even George and Bootsy did work, you know, for their own stuff, and that was always the thing. What would their next album look like? Right? Did you feel that way?
Hardcore jollies, and you know, I used to look at the comic, you know, look at the album cover and be like, you know, it freaked me out as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good, man. Yeah, it's good.
I loved it because it really took me to the street in the acid head kind of way. And I was like, and that's what attracted me because I had knew who they were, whatever. But, you know, I always was a funk head. So I was like, wow, this is some really deep shit because, you know, they're putting this whole black funk spin on this thing.
Afrocentric, man. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Man. Yeah,
and that's what I wanted to do with my comic. I wanted to be Afrocentric. I wanted people to understand it was black owned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a groove, man. But yeah, you know, like I said, me and Curtis made each other famous because I had my first CD was called Back to Basics, and he did the cover for it and everything. And I sent him a whole bunch of them, man. Before I knew it, he'd have sent them to like Donna Sneed, Otis Hogg, Larry Funkster Jones. And before I got up one day, man, and Larry Funkster Jones had did a what do you call it? P-view on me.
He does his preview thing. Yeah.
And you know, he only really usually does like P-Funk people. So it was an honor, man. You know what I'm saying? He did like two of them. And it kind of got me right in the radar of all these P-Funk cats. And, you know, I lived in California for like 20 years.
Right.
You know, I played with Above the Law, Cocaine, Chambers Brothers. I mean, just on and on, you know. Yeah. And I had a friend named Goldie. They called him Goldie Man. And we was in a group called Jamination together. And he hit me up. He said, man, my cousin Lonnie just moved to Detroit. And that was, you know, Count Funkula. So I ended up hooking up with the P-Funk Outlaws through all this. You know what I'm saying? So
That's why I mentioned Cali, because I had knew of you from Cali. That's why I thought you was there, because that's where I was like, oh, because I did some research. But I had heard, because, you know, we all don't run into each other, but somewhere along the line, somebody will mention somebody and they'll be like, oh yeah, I heard of that cat, or I heard of that girl, you know, I heard of that woman's band, or that funk thing, this and that. Because the funk, even though it's worldwide, it's a very tight-knit funk community. I always tell people that, you know, it's spiritual as hell. It's a family. It's a big funk family, and we all just take care of each other like that, man. And it's a beautiful thing to hang out with you today. Our special guest, G-Rock from the D, in the house on Funk from the Front Seat 9 on the Grind TV. So if you guys got any questions, you want to get interactive, put them up on the chat. Mark Lee will get them to me, because we got a lot to chop it up with this brother, and this is only part 1. So you go be back for part 2, 3, and 4, you know, because we got so much to talk about. So check it out. P-Funk and the concept. What were some, besides P-Funk, when you were coming up, what was it inside of you, and what musical people drew you to know that this was your thing? Go back to when you was a little kid.
Well, you know, my mother, she turned me on to like Jimi Hendrix and shit like that when I was probably 11 or 12.
Cool, yeah.
And I got a guitar, you know, she bought me a guitar for Christmas from Sears, you know what I'm saying, with the amp. And you know, I went and got lessons, man. But I was always into that like hard ass guitar. That's how I started, you know what I'm saying. And then as I grew older, my cousins, man, you know, they was around me, and I'm from the same town as Bill Laswell. My cousins, was in like Bill Laswell's first groups. My cousin right here, Rodney. He with me right now.
Hey, shout him out. What up, bro? What up, man?
Yeah.
Get some shine, bro. Love you. Love you, man. Love you.
This is my brother. This is my brother Rodney. My cousin Rodney. You know, we got a thing called Detroit Space Division together too. But anyway,
I heard of that. Yeah.
I would be, you know, going up, you know, hanging out there at their practices, man. First they had a group called Sissy Watu. And it was Bill Laswell, my two cousins. He sings, he plays guitar. My other cousin plays keyboard, and I got another cousin, Daryl, who plays drums. So they would bring me around, you know, and I would see, you know, them cats. And then later on, they had a group called Sonar Eclipse. It's Bill Laswell, Dennis Whedon, you know. So I would go around with them, man, and you know, I had my guitar, and they would always turn me on to like this heavy music. Like, you know, they turned me on to Miles Davis, Stanley Clarke, all that stuff, you know. And later on, you know, Bill and Dennis, they moved to New York, and I was like 14, man, and they brought me on. I had moved from guitar to bass by that time. So I was playing bass with them guys, man, and they was, you know, it was like, you know, the P-Funk and all that stuff was happening. But it was more for me was the fusion stuff. Yeah. I ended up doing that because I was playing guitar and I would play leads and stuff real good at a young age. So when I got the bass, I was really into Stanley. I was really into Alphonse.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, hell yeah.
Alphonse Mouzon, Lenny White.
People forget about him, and I get pissed off about that because he was deep.
Yeah, and then there's, you know, my cousins, they turned me on to like Automatic Man. I don't know if you ever heard of a group called Automatic Man.
I remember the album cover.
Oh,
I remember the album cover.
But anyway, yeah, you know, and then the thumping and all that came around. I started learning that, just fast forward. And I just got really deep into P-Funk and Cameo and all that, you know. So, you know, and then like, oh yeah. And then, you know, I left my town in about 1980. I went to Columbus, Ohio to play with a group called Headpiece. And we backed up Carl Russell from the Hughes Corporation.
Right.
And we would play at a place called Good Times Lounge, right? We played 2 weeks. And then a group called Crowd Pleasers would play another 2 weeks, which was my boy Donald Payne.
Right.
They call him Thump Daddy now. But we would look at each other, man, because I had a Music Man bass, he had the jazz bass, and
okay.
His licks was impeccable. My licks I was in the Louis Johnson by that time.
Right. The Music Man, yeah.
And then, you know, he would be in the audience when I played. My licks was impeccable too, because I played, you know, that real painy ass Music Man.
Yeah.
And so every Sunday at the Good Times Lounge, they would have a jam session. And all these bad motherfuckers, man, would be in there.
Right.
All I cared about was Donald Payne. And all he cared about was me. So I would be up there, I would do some Stanley, I would do some Jocko. He would go on, and we was just trying to chop each other's heads, man. But we ended up being really good friends. And I talked to him recently, man. Thump Daddy's a monster. But yeah, anyway, that's.
Yo, I love that. You know, Patty and Bootsy and Brendan, all of them was talking about the Good Times Lounge too. That must have been a real super spot because every place has its spot.
It's on the corner of Long and Cleveland. I don't know if it's still open, but like, you know, and from there, man, you know, we stayed. That was our station. You know, we were stationed in Columbus. But then, you know, Carl Russell, he sung Rock the Boat and all that, right?
Yeah, Rock the Boat. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went on the road with him, man. That was my first time going on the road. We went to Jersey, we went to New York, we ended up in California, and all of his cousins cousins was pimps, man. And we lived with them kind of guys on the road, and man,
yes.
Being a young 19, 20-year-old dude, I can't even tell half the stories, man, that went on the road with this guy, man. You know. I mean, we was in the back of Yeah, we was in the back of a camper, and he had these dancers, right? We thought they was dancers. He was in the front of the camper with them, and we would pull into a truck stop. And for some reason, the next morning we would all eat good breakfasts and shit, you know.
Yeah.
He had them chicks out there working while we was on the road.
Yo, that's
one day, man, we was in the back of the camper. All we could hear is, "Bitch, you better get out and do what you know." Anyway, I don't want to go too far into that, but yeah, man, I've seen it. This funk, I done seen a lot.
Yo, let me tell you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I love these stories because what I do, I always tell people when they hear these stories right here in Funk from the Front Seat, it's original and it's coming from the people that lived it. So for you guys out there watching, you ain't never going to hear these stories nowhere else, but not on the Grind TV Funk from the Front Seat with G-Rock. Continue, brother.
Yeah, bro. It's a beautiful thing, man. This funk
continue.
It's took me all over the world, man. You know, I've been to Japan, I've been to England. You know, I've done my thing, man. You know,
man, and you're still doing it.
I don't got to work a job right now. You know, me and my cousin, I got a new project coming out. It's the extension of my Black Electric thing I did, which is like black rock and real funky shit. And then we're doing another Detroit Space Division. And I just finished a project with my boy, DeAndre Sherrill. And that was a lucrative day because he signed to Sony. And that's coming out. And it's a lot, man. You know, this funk will take you where as far as you want to let it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second.
If you're really true to your music and, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah,
it is. I was gonna say we're gonna get into that in a second because I do want to talk about your new music, They Don't Care, and the Digital Nation dance track and all that good stuff. So, but I wanted to ask you first because I'm still in the back of the van with the pimps. So let me just get out of that for a minute because I'm sitting there right now because one of my very first gigs, I was 16 years old, underage, was in a strip club. And that's all I was going to say. I was going to add that. Because back then, if you could play, they didn't care if you was underage, you could still sit down and play. You know, and I was a decent drummer. I could hold my own and do what I do. I was still developing, but I couldn't focus all night because I was working in a strip club, man. And I'm a preacher's kid. So for me, I was exposed to some stuff early on. I was like, I'm definitely going to do this.
Exactly, man.
It's popping. Yeah, man. So, the funk thing, man, it loves us all. Funk is its own reward. Obviously, James Brown, Sly, and all those people that you mentioned that influenced you, Stanley Clarke. I tell people all the time, G-Rock, and thank you again for hanging out with us, man. What we grew up around, that era, will never be duplicated with how we learned it, how we had to take the record needle off and put it back in the same spot to hear a lick.
You're fucking right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because all we had back then, we didn't have cassettes yet. We only had 8 tracks.
Right.
And then the record, you can move that back and forth. You end up scratching the shit out of it.
Yep.
Then the cassette, later on cassettes came out. It made it easier to rewind.
It did.
Yeah, man. And you're talking about you want to learn some songs back then. You better get it on the first few tries. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely have to have that. It's the and I tell people,
that makes your ear training like so much better.
Yep.
That's why our ear training is so good.
Yep. Because playing in those bands, and a lot of times there was no keyboard player. The guitar player, the main one, the guy, and I'll tell Howard Beeman, and he's still playing now. He taught us all, man. He was the guy in Bayshore, Long Island, and he would tune by ear. He had an old Hackstrom guitar. And he would perfectly tune by ear because of that church training. So I wanted to ask you, bro, did you have any of that church background training, which I know you must have?
Yeah, I did. I worked, I played in the church for about a year, man. I was kind of rebellious, man. I didn't really go to church too much, man. But I did play in the church for a little while.
Yeah.
And, but like I said, I left home at a young age, man, like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And just kept going, bro.
Yeah, I know when the only reason I brought that up is because you know, all the musicians that I hear now, some of these young guys, I can tell the ones that are coming out of church because they have that extra notch. Like you and I
Yeah,
and your friends and all the great people you work with, we were born into that notch because if you couldn't really
right.
get that notch, you really couldn't work as much. It didn't make you a less of a musician. It just meant that certain bands were looking for certain things, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
listening to you mention all of that era, I always tell all these young people, listen, man, you got to go back to the source. You got to go back to these
got to,
people
man.
and really study the Larry Grahams of the world. And I said, where you think Prince got his shit from? And you go back
Right.
and listen to Screaming Jay Hawkins, and go back and listen to Fats Domino and King Oliver, who taught Lewis, and Lewis then took it to the Midwest. So I have two daughters, 12 and 16, and I make them listen to Mahalia Jackson. I make them listen to stuff because I want their
Right.
ear in the right places, man. So, man, yeah, man, this is great. We're hanging out with G Rock from Detroit, Funk from the Front Seat, man. In about
What
2
up?
minutes,
What up?
we're gonna. What'd you say?
And I just said, what up? What up?
What up? What up? Yeah. In about 2 minutes, we're going to get into some of your music. You sent me a few things, and I'm gonna have my producer run one of them. And then we're going to run a little spot that I do for P Funk Radio before that. But I wanted to ask you, going forward for our second half of this segment that we're doing today. You started your funky musical journey early on in life. It's taking you around the world. Obviously, you got so much good favor. And you're a giving, kind person. And I know that to be a fact because as soon as I contacted you, you was like, bet, I'm down. So for that, we're
Oh yeah.
grateful you're on the show. Thank you for
Yeah.
spending time with us. It's amazing. And I got to get with Curtis so I can get one of those Galactic Gorilla comic books. If you
Oh
got
yeah.
one, send me one, please, man. Because I collect all of this stuff. It's important to me.
Definitely,
P Funk
definitely.
Outlaws and Gorilla Funk Mob, and now you're doing your new band, the Detroit thing. So in this age, Dr. Brookerstein, what's up? Yeah, David Brooks, he does my stuff too. He's always active in the funk community. I know you know David from Philly. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, brother, how did you guys? Everybody has a different story of how they pivoted. How did you pivot during COVID? Because I'm always curious as to what other cats are doing and girls are doing.
Well, I really got deep into recording a lot of music, and I have a licensing deal
Mm-hmm.
where I send music in and get it placed on different movies, and they're working on getting me on video games and all that kind of stuff. And so I just do a lot of music. I've been doing a lot of music and doing a lot of session work. I just did a session with Amir Stein. They call him Merciless
Mm-hmm.
Amir. He's like one of the founders of Detroit hip hop. I mean,
Yeah,
Eminem just redid one of his songs.
yeah, I
You
love
know,
Eminem.
that's how heavy this
Yeah.
guy is. So I've been doing like session work for him, and like I said, my boy DeAndre Sherrill, he had a deal with Sony, so we did that, and we've been doing Paradigm. Oh yeah, and a guy named Paradigm, who was actually Kid Rock's DJ.
Okay.
I'm working on his project right now.
All
But see,
right. Yeah, I love Kid Rock too.
I met all these guys, man. Gorilla Funk Mob. It was like a group we put together that could play all styles of music.
Yeah, yeah.
We ended up backing Alan Barnes from Blackbirds.
Right, right.
He ended up being like our official godfather. Like we was doing stuff with him, but we ended up being like the hip hop live band of Detroit. So we ended up playing behind cats from D12, Slum Village. I mean, anybody that had a gig, and they wanted a live band, they was hitting Gorilla Funk Mob.
Did you do the St. Brown Posse? Did you do that music on the St. Brown Posse?
No.
There was a hip hop group out of there, St. Brown Posse, and I heard it one day about 4 years ago. I was like, damn. And it was one of Eminem's side projects or something like that.
Oh yeah,
But I know,
yeah. He's got
yeah,
so
you
much
guys, you guys up in the D, you know, that area of the country, people always, they, to me personally, and I'm from New York, we always knew how funky y'all was. You know, the people that was into it, we knew, man. You cats, man, y'all was like always, you know, with Enema Squad, and you know, first time I met Gabe and everything, and you know, he used to come to the Wetlands. They used to come to Wetlands in New York to play, and we was like, damn, they're kicking our ass right in our own state. You know what I'm saying? Y'all used to come in hard, you know, and I appreciated that. I love that because you know, I'm just, you know, I love it all. And it was beautiful to see.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Speaking of Gabe Gonzalez, yeah, man, you know, Gorilla Funk Mob was in a place called Club Soda in Kalamazoo. We was, you know, Narada Michael Walden is from Kalamazoo.
Yeah,
and he would always come back for the family reunion or whatever. And we had his cousin, Steve, I forgot his last name. He would always say, hey man, Michael's coming into town. I want y'all to put something together and we're gonna do it at Club Soda. And Michael's gonna come in and he's gonna play with you guys.
Right.
So one night we was playing with Michael Walden, you know, our group was backing him at, you know, it was beautiful. It was packed house. And Gabe was playing with Bernie Worrell down the street.
Yeah, woo.
But it was an outside gig and it got rained out. And so I guess Bernie said, hey, Narada's in town. Let's go over there. You know, so him, Gabe, and Bernie came to the show. And that was the first night me meeting Gabe. You know, we all hung out. Bernie and Narada's talking. We got all kinds of pictures, but the guy, man, that took the pictures wanted like $700 for the damn negatives. Yeah, so he still got the pictures of me, Gabe, Bernie, my band, Narada. But that was my first night meeting Gabe, and you know, me and Gabe been good friends for years. And
same.
Like, you know, recently, you know, we've been played together. He sit in with the P-Funk Outlaws. I did a New Year's show with him and Doomany Deporte. It was a New Year's gig. It was just us three, man. And we just blazed out. I got that footage too.
Yeah, man. It's funny because, you know, that's how I met Gabe. I was hanging out with Amuka, who was back then Sheila, you know, and she lived on Staten Island at the time. And we had put together a little project and we asked her to sing on it. This was before my band Nappyhead was even together. And then, you know, she was so kind. And then, you know, having known Mike and all of them, I ended up being around that era and being up there where they would rehearse at and Skeet and all of them. You know, I was a fly on the wall. I even wrote a song about it. I just wanted to learn and be there and check it out. But the Gabe is a good brother, man. I love him to death because when I was going through some stuff, you know, I reached out to some people and he reached out to me within like 5 minutes to check and see if I was okay. He like, as soon as he hit me back, man, because I suffer from depression, man, and he hit me back. And that touched my heart so much. And for Gabe, if you out there, you know, Gabe knows how I am about. Yeah, he knows how I feel about him, man. So yeah, so we're gonna run this spot real fast with P-Funk Radio, and then on the other side, man, you hang out on the side with us. Don't go nowhere. Here we are with G-Rock, Greg Sanders out of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? P-Funk Outlaws, Gorilla Funk Mob, you know, and the Galactic Gorillas with Curtis Wilcox, which we're gonna talk about some more. We're gonna run some of your music, man. But right now, pause for station identification. My man Mark Lee back there hanging out. Yeah, man. So yeah, this is cool.
Is Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
Thank you, Mark. Yo, I see you ready to strap it up. Strap it up. You good? Strap it up. Let's go. It's good. We can do whatever we want.
I'm going to give you just a little bit of something what I was raised on.
Give it. Bring it. Yes. I'm loving it. You know how we won't go. Go with it, man.
I'm good, man.
Bring it.
I don't want to wait. Yeah. I've just been.
Silly Putty.
You know.
Love it. Right here on Funk from the Front Seat. G-Rock. You see what I'm saying?
I'm here, baby.
Yo, you know, when you see me laughing and giggling, yo, bro, I truly get joy and lifted from doing all of this because God got me in this spot.
I know, man.
And we was talking about the pivot. This is how I was able to pivot and not lose my mind because we can't play. But we're gonna run one of your tracks. Mark's gonna run one of those tracks, man, and we're gonna let the world, my audience hear this music, and we're gonna get back and talk about that. So, thank you again, man, because what you do and what you have done and what you will continue to do, brother, is a blessing. The planet needs you. Your spirit and your guidance and your wisdom and your knowledge. That's what this show is about. I'm telling you from my heart, peace, love, and harmony is what my show's about. You have knowledge, bro. That's love. That's love, and you can spread it, man. And thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. And my audience will appreciate it too. And again, this is just part one because I always have people on part 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Yes, sir. I love it.
So there's just so much to talk about. We have a history, and I say this with all respect. You are Black history, okay? I say this with all
this is Black history. Period. Everything we're doing, we're trying to keep ourselves in a good light. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Show
Lord.
ourselves because we are like very special people, man.
Yeah.
The Black race. Yeah. And it's been bastardized, and people have tried to. They always want to focus on the negative, but we ain't not gonna let them, man.
Nah. Yeah, man, that's right. Yo, Mark, man, throw one of them tracks up, man, for us while we sitting here chatting, man. Not on the Grind TV, G-Rock, man. It don't get no better than this, As soon as I could travel, bro, I'm coming to Detroit because I want to get on some of that music. I gotta play. I gotta play with you. Gotta play with you.
We about to hit the road, man, with the P-Funk Outlaws. We got some stuff down south coming up, so hopefully we get out your way. And you can get up here with us. You got a home, man. You're
I'm
good.
loving that, man. I'm loving that. Thank you, man. Because we rehearse up in New York. I just live here.
They say we all are created equal. I can't tell. Now what's going on out in these streets?
Mark, turn that up. Thank you.
That's how my grandma used to moan. It's a cold world. They don't care, no. Only currency that matters is time, and is running low. Yeah, they ain't giving out no chance for your life, so I suggest you drive slow. You can't hide, you have pride. It's best that you fight. You should not survive. It's all right. They don't get no one got it's a cold world. They don't care, no. They don't care. It's shameful. Tell us stop resisting, then they feed us with the clip. Telling y'all, man, it's all going down. It's just the way of the world now. You can't run, you can't hide. You have right, expect that you fight. Sing like surviving is sort of a crime. Oh, you ain't no, they don't care about your well-being. They rather see you down and out, pole and throat, holy smokes. Another black man gets smoked in 5-0, had no reason, it's killing season. Damn, I guess we just target practice till the system sees our reaction. No justice, no peace, burn these streets down. Stand up and fight or sit down. It's a cold world out here. They don't care about our time. Try to live and you die. They don't care. Oh, it's a cold. They don't care. They don't care. Try to live and you die. They don't care.
That's what's up. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, man.
Yo, so yeah, before we get to the next one, Digital Nation, I want to talk a little bit about that. Again, we're hanging out with G-Rock from Detroit. You know, that was one of his tracks, They Don't Care. You know, and this gentleman, man, is so gracious to be with us today on Funk from the Front Seat, not on the Grind TV. And thank you, StreamYard. I know you. Yeah, you're welcome, man. And thank you, StreamYard, for allowing this platform. We love you guys. You guys are great. But yeah, man, so They Don't Care. When you were putting that together, obviously it's got that tinge of the street political. Tell us a little bit about or walk us through your thought process when you was penning that to paper.
Well, basically, I wrote the music, and my singer, Pierre Anthony, who's like a Detroit, you know, everybody uses him, man. Yeah. He wrote the lyrics, man, because you know he's on the streets, man. You know, he's always going to the studio, and then sometimes he's walking or whatever, man. And he sees how the police, they stop him, they fucking harass him and all that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This all the stuff, man, that's been going on. We just had to do a song about it, man. The George Floyd, that just did it for us, you know.
Same.
And then seeing the guy, man, trying to walk into his car and he unloaded 7 bullets in his back and all that shit, man. It was just too much for us. So we just, you know, he heard the music and that's what he felt on it, man. I said, go for it, you know. So I give him the credit for that song, man. And it was powerful when he sent it back to me. Because what I've been doing in this pandemic, man, I've been writing. Me and my cousin, we were over here writing and everything and recording. I sent that track over to London to my friend Kenny Melrose, who's actually from Dayton. Me and him, longest story short, he ended up coming to California with me for a while. Then he moved to England. When I was in California. We played with Cocaine and a bunch of people. And he ended up moving to England to marry his girl. She's from London. So I sent him the track. He played drums on it. I'd already had keys on it. And he had this other guy named Trevor Davey over there play some more keys. Long story short, he ended up sending it to Keith Harrison, which was one of his friends from Dayton. And, you know, Keith Harrison was with Dad's band. He wrote Whip It, Let It Whip.
Yeah.
He wrote Riding High for Fazo, and he was also in Heatwave. He heard the track and he said, look, man, I'm going to mix it. I fell out. So the track is mixed by Keith Harrison.
Wow.
You know, it's a beautiful, it's serendipity, man. The track was just, it was magical. So
it's funny you say serendipity because, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but because of most artists I know that were into the feelings of the pulse of the nation, the last 4 or 5 years have been coming up with such great music, So I just wanted to add that, that's deep.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, that's about it. I just wanted that. That was just a few little tidbits.
But only because, what we saw and what we witnessed as artists, we're like, damn, we know this been going on forever, but now it's just so blatant. And we all had our opinions about it. We all went to marches and rallies. I went to 4 of them, 5 of them down here, just because, my dad marched in the NAACP, so I owed it to my family. Now it's my turn. You know what I'm saying? But I would always come home and pen something to paper, and we're trying to get that up and running now. But I'm so happy that artists like yourself are socially conscious, social, and see, that's important. I think the Creator left some of us here to keep us healthy so we can spit out this socially conscious stuff, and we can talk to brothers like you and sisters, that come on and have positive things, man. So that's wonderful, man. I love that. Where can they find that at?
On Tidal, what is the other ones? All streaming sites, basically.
Oh, okay, all the social platforms. Okay, that's what's what. So this next track,
I'm getting ready to do. Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say I'm getting ready to do a CD with that song on it too. So it'll be for sale, and then I'm gonna do vinyl and all that. But anyway, go ahead, man.
Right now, man. We was just sitting here kicking it, man. It's like you in the front seat, so it's all good. You're my special guest today, and I am so honored. Digital Nation. That dance track. Tell me a little bit about that. Set that up before we run that track.
Well, that is another track that just came. I did the music, and my cousin Rodney here was, he's a real deep thinker, man. So he was like just looking at stuff and saying how everything in the world is digital. It's like everything you're always on your phone. You emailing, you shopping online and all that. So I left, I did the track, and I came back the next day, and he was like, we living in a digital. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it was like, we had to do a video to that one, man, just to,
show
it and everything. But yeah, it's just about how the world is just digital right now, man. It's like, especially since the pandemic, nobody's really mingling too much. It's got to keep everything down to a certain. So it just came out of this whole pandemic, and how everything just. I mean, you was shopping online. You just, you're barely going to stores because you got to put the fucking mask on and all that. So that's what it came out.
Yeah.
But the concept of Digital Nation came from my cousin, man.
Okay.
I was like, this is dope, man. And so he's actually he's the one singing it too.
Okay, all right. Let's run that track, Mark, so people can check that out, man. Here we are hanging with G-Rock, his cousin, and all the Detroit people around the world checking out this man's funk. All you beautiful ladies and gentlemen out there, thank you for joining the show. Stay active on the chat line, man. I love you. Funk from the front seat. You know how we roll. 9 on the Grind TV.
Oh, yeah, I love you. And Curtis is in this video too.
All right.
Forces beyond our control. We've been transported to the future.
We are the digital.
Interdimensional transmission. Electromagnetic wave. On a lower frequency.
Yeah. We follow everything seen on the video screen. Mindless and blinded by digital things. In a virtual world, the computer is king. The internet never loses and the matrix is supreme. We post and comment, share and like, text and email, shopping online sites. Social media misleading you, impeding your life. AI controls the system, deleting our rights. Genesis is Skynet, with Sarah Connor we fight. Algorithms dictate the rhythm of what you see and listen. Take flight, cyberspace, information age, and get it in an instant age to the infrastructure phase. We hope for downloads and pray for upgrades. Insert the web with no bias. Steve Jobs, it's my Apple Science Live. Portal or IG, you can Google my likeness. I'm there. Yeah.
The purpose of this record is to demonstrate an eclectic factory over a wide range of frequencies.
Yo, that's crazy hot. Yo, that's crazy hot, brother. We gotta talk, because I gotta talk to you about who did your thing, man, because I gotta connect with you offline, and we'll chat, because I'm looking for somebody to do some stuff.
Oh, listen, the same guy who sung it, my cousin Rodney Todd did the video. So yeah, we can talk about doing that video. But I want to take a minute though, man. To
take your time, bro. We got plenty of time.
I want to shout my brother Funk Ken out, man, from California.
No doubt.
That's my bro right there, man. I see you hit me up on the feed here, Ken. Anyway, man, me and him recorded some stuff when I went to Las Vegas. He brought his equipment from LA to the Stratosphere Hotel, and we sit up in my suite and recorded some hot shit. And he's about to release it, man. It's some dope, man.
So Funk Ken, I want you to come on the show. Just hit me up. You know where I'm at. You know I met you. We stay in touch. Oh, I'm gonna get him. See, this door, God opened this door for me to help others. Just everybody's coming through. I don't care. I'm gonna try to my last breath. I'm gonna try to get every funk guy on, because we're a family. you know,
Yeah,
and
man.
I love the fact that you took the time to mention that, brother. So Funk Kid, I got you, bro. Hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
For
let's get
sure.
back to that digital um, nation, because I love the fact that Curtis is in it, and I like the graphics mixture along with the live animation.
Yeah.
So when your cousin was putting that together and everything, and phenomenal. So I want him to give some shine. It's phenomenal. You guys are amazing.
There he
Let me
is
know
right
how
here.
let me know how
Thanks
I
a
can
lot,
push
bro.
that. And listen, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna send you my number because I want you to do some work for what I'm doing. All right. So we'll set that up. So
For
thank you.
sure. For sure. I
Man.
got you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
got
Yeah.
man. Yo, so as you guys were working together and you coming up with all this creative juice and everything, man, and now you're sharing it and you're telling your story. I
Hmm.
always bring my producer on to ask a question, and then we go through the last words and all this other stuff, man. But right now, speaking specifically to the political socioeconomic climate that we're in. Some of us are more blessed than others. But what
Right.
ray of positivity can you share with people about whatever profession they're in and what they're doing?
Well, to keep pushing, but basically, man, we're about to hit the other side of this thing. The world is going to end up. I mean, you can't keep the world down forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to come back around. I can't say if this whole thing has been blown out of proportion to bring in some other new world order or money.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's a
We
lot I could
know.
say. It's a
Yeah.
lot I could say, but I'm not gonna say it, because I don't want anybody chasing me down. But
Another show. We'll do it on another show because
yeah,
I'm with you.
I'll tell you my my analogy on the next show. But yeah, just stay positive. You know what I'm saying? At least we got Biden in there, man. He's giving out some money, man, to help people out, man, and actually the PPP loans or whatever like that. Hopefully they're getting to the right hands to help small businesses to get back up and running. But soon we'll be able to get out and touch each other again, man, and see live shows and hug. It's like I said, man. The human condition can't stay in this digital nation. That's why I did the song.
Right.
We can't live like the fucking Jetsons and shit, man. It's the space age and everything, but we still are people, and we all gonna get back together soon. We're gonna get back together soon. Live music is gonna be better than ever because everybody they've been woodshedding. You know what I'm saying? We just got the Gorilla Funk Mob's coming back out. I want to shout out the P Funk Outlaws, Count Funkula, Tony P Funk Strat Thomas, DeAndre Sherrill, my boy Dean Ragland. I want to shout out Shirley Hayden, Jim Danny from the Black Man Review, because I'm getting ready to do some work with them. Shirley's with Parlette. We were supposed to do some stuff with Parlette, but that,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know.
lots is coming back, man. Everything's coming back strong. We just have to get past this, little hurdle, and
That's right. That's right.
Become humans again.
That's right. That's right. It's funny because I'm doing working with Benevolent Funk. They actually support my show and send positive energy. Otis and Donna and all of that. So they're trying to get some swag out, and we're slowly working, right? So
right.
But I wanted to say all of the funk heads right now are working so hard to stay positive, man. So we have to continue to send you and your crew our prayers because what you're doing against these odds is phenomenal. Like you said, people still putting out music. It's phenomenal, bro. A lot of people would have gave up. A lot of people would be like, nah, life got me down. But you, like they said, everybody got a little light under the sun. You know what I'm saying? So you're spreading that and radiating it even through some hard times. And I love the fact that you're so positive. I knew you would be because we are Funk family. And I like the fact that you mentioned in all of your people because a lot of times people don't get a chance to see people like your cousin. They hear it, but they don't see it. They see the finished product. but they don't understand the work that goes into it. Kudos, man, because
it's a team effort, man.
Totally.
Certain things I can't do, he can do.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to, speaking of benevolent fund, I want to say a special shout out to my sister, Donna Sneed, oldest.
Oh, love her. Yeah.
Man, because she was the first one that brought P-Funk Outlaws to New Jersey. We did the Funktoberfest, and I want to thank you for that. And after that, we ended up coming back to Jersey to do the Jug Band into Summerfest out the big campground, you know. And her and her daughter-in-law, they came out to that. And I just want to say, you know, it's a lot of people that helped us, you know. And,
it's a toast to the boogie. You know what I'm saying? Toast to the boogie, man. And you know something? I'm glad you mentioned, you know, what they're doing, because Next Exit came out with Keepers of the Funk. And, you know, I kind of been using that as a mantra for all of us. We're the elders now. Like George and Bootsy, obviously Bernie, you know, Gary, they're all in P-Funk heaven and all, Glenn Goins, the whole crew that's there. But the crew that's still here, now they're passing the torch. The torch was always passed to us, and now we've become the elders. You know what I'm saying? To the Anderson Parks of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now it's our time to really just go all out, dive in, and just like bring this thing back. And, you know, I had Joe Keys on and Late Bloomer Band, and you guys, all you guys, man, make this world a better place. You know what I'm saying? You really do. And Dr. Brookenstein said hello. He was at that show.
What's up, Doc?
Jersey. Yeah, he was there, man. Dr. Brookenstein, you know, he beams in and out. This brother gets around more than Star Trek.
He do. I love it.
He beams in and out, man.
And I want to shout out too, man, Joe Keys.
Yes.
When we was doing the Funktoberfest, Joe Keys was on stage and his bass player got sick on stage. And Donna, I was already drunk, man. We had done our show. Donna came to me and said, "Get up there and play bass," because my man said, I told Donna, I said, "I'm a little drunk." She said, "Get your ass up there." That's what she told me. So I went up there. I went up on stage with Joe Keys, and we did "California Dreaming" by Eddie Hazel.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that, you know, but that's on YouTube. That's on YouTube. Me playing with Joe Keys, and that's a cool brother too.
Yeah, he totally. I had him on 2 weeks ago in the Late Bloomer, and they've been on a few times. See, once we meet these circles, and everybody is like so kind enough to spend time with us on Funk from the Front Seat, it becomes a big, huge party. I cannot wait to do a Funk from the Front Seat party with bands and everybody playing, and we just all chatting up, having a good time, because that's what God wants us to do. We have to stay positive to show others, like you said, brother. You said the key word, don't give up. You know, a lot of us feel that way. Don't give up, man. I'm going to bring my producer, Mark Lee, and director on, man. Mark, I know you got a question. I hear you scratching at the glass for this, brother. Here we are with, you know, Greg, and we just chilling, Mr. Sanders, you know, G-Rock, and all that good stuff, man.
How's it going there, G-Rock? I was really digging those sounds of yours. That music was truly amazing, and I was definitely grooving over here in the back doing the production side, and definitely enjoying your sounds and looking forward to hearing more of your music. It was very powerful music, and your video, man, is off the chain. And I've got some friends in the filmmaking world, so I don't know if he's looking at doing video work and filmmaking work, but he definitely should be doing it, because he is truly amazing and doing some great work and all of that. But that being said, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was, I know that you're over there in Detroit, and Detroit has got some rich musical history, but also some rich activism history as well. As a matter of fact, y'all went through all of that stuff with the Waters and things of that nature. And of course, y'all have had the Motown sound. I'm a big blues fan, in addition to being a fan of the funk music. And I know that there is definitely, folks think about Chicago, but there's some Detroit blues as well. So I just wondered if you could talk about the importance. You've kind of touched on a little bit with Zach, but I was wondering if you could talk more in detail about the importance of activism and the importance of those rich musical roots in Detroit to your musical styles.
Yeah, well, you know, the activism, man, it's always been there. You know, I grew up in the 70s, you know, and my parents always, you know, show they had the Martin Luther King record, you know, and I would listen to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I was, you know, aware of what was going on. And then, I had older friends, man, and they was into the Black Panther movement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they was like telling me, hey, look, man, you're no matter what they say about us, we are Black and we are powerful. Right. And everything was Black power, you know, and we was trying to, and they would instill in me, man, be the best you can be, you know. Yeah. That's the only way you can beat them who are against us, you know. And that was just so rich and prevalent back in the day, you know. And all they want to show, see, if you go back and look at the 70s blaxploitation movies, right, they didn't want to show you all these activists and cats was trying to do the right thing. They want to show you how they want to glorify, oh, look at them, they're all heroin addicts. They was flooding them. They was flooding our streets with that, you know.
Yep.
That was from J. Edgar Hoover and all them cats, you know. That was coming from the CIA and FBI and all that shit.
Yep.
They was watching us. They was watching us try to get strong.
Yeah.
They dismantled Black Panthers, you know. They let the KKK go, you know what I'm saying? But basically, man, you look at any like the Motown, Marvin Gaye, he just laid it all the way out for us, man. With that one record, it was just super positive, you know, super telling everything, what's going on, all that shit. Aretha Franklin, they, you know, all of them. So that's, you know, we got a rich history, man, as far as like when the time was, you know, those times was happening, we had musicians back then. You know, James Brown, they had to call him in to stop riots, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So basically, that's just, you know.
Yeah, it's a real rich history.
That's my experience. That's my experience, you know, coming up, you know, getting exposed to activism, you know, Black Panthers, and just different things, you know, people doing stuff in the community, and then the music, like you said.
Yep, definitely. I'm gonna bounce off of that.
Gil Scott-Heron, the last poet, the Black, whatever it was, the last poets.
Yeah,
all that. You know, they was trying to wake us up.
Yeah. No, they were definitely trying to wake us up, and I'm gonna let Zach wind everything down and finish the interview and everything. But one of the things that you were saying that I was thinking about was how a lot of times they don't even make the connection between us and our allies, because I know that there's a decent Hispanic population, a decent Arab population there in the Michigan area, and definitely a decent Native American population. And a lot of times we have to work together with these different groups that are also being oppressed as well. And we need to do more of that, because I know that that's what's going on in Detroit. They're actually trying to get rid of the Muslim sister that's representing that whole community out of Michigan, and not actually giving her the support that she needs and all of that. So I definitely know that we've got to be there to have her back and all of that. So I definitely think that that's something that we need to be doing more of, is make sure that we've got folks back in that sense. So definitely, I think that you're doing some amazing work, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of your music out there. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the day when the Nappy Head Funk Army, your band, Joe Keys, and everybody can be out there doing a full concert, because I plan on being the MC for that, because as Zach knows, that part of what I do is I do MC work. So I plan on introducing all of y'all and everything, and us having just one big old party.
Hey, man, it's going to manifest, man. You just put it in the universe.
That's right. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you, man. Mark Lee, my producer director. He has about 5 different shows that he does. You know, you can touch base with him yourself, G-Rock, man, because he does a lot of stuff in the community. You know, he's the one that put me on the StreamYard, and, you know, he's a good brother, man. He's like us. He wants nothing but the best for our community and our people, man, as well as other people. You know, shout out to everybody, because, again, we're here spreading peace, love, and harmony to all races, all creeds, all colors, no matter your sexual orientation. The funk has always been what you see right here. You know, brothers and sisters chopping it up about life, a good thing, man. You know, and I have to address sometime the elephant in the room, only because it's the times we live in, right, brother? So what I was going to mention to you, and Mark brought up a good point, when they actually did the test run and stormed your capital. That was the test run for the bigger thing. And I just want, yep, and I just wanted to tell you, the whole country was behind you guys, the protection end of it, not on the other side, because we were all watching that saying that's some effed up crap. And I'm glad there were civil-headed people like you and your crew that didn't go to that edge, because that was the plan. And because it was a test run, right now they see the test run happen a year ago in your place. So again, now we see this and people are like, hey, how did that happen? I'm like, yo, but they did it last year in Detroit and Michigan. So kudos to your area and state for being strong enough to fight off those demons. And your music plays a huge part in that, because when you come home after, like me, you, anybody, after we've been through some stuff, the first thing you do if you don't cut on TV is you put on music. Right. And people need that, what you do, brother. And I just wanted to tell you that. I commend you. I'm grateful to you, man. We're gonna chop it up. We've been hanging out today. It's been a great show, interview. Greg Sanders, G-Dog, P-Funk Outlaws, Gorilla Funk Mob, the Galactic Gorillas magazine, all the great people that you worked with.
Detroit
That's right. You're gonna be working with me soon too, man. So listen, and I always give my guests the very last word before I end the show. You've shouted out so many people. What are your last words and thoughts to everybody watching this show today, so they can take something today and just run with it, man? Tell us your last words and thoughts, man, and then we're going to let you beam out, get back to your ship, man, and get some work done.
Okay, I just want to say that, everybody has something great in them that they can offer. Find what you have great inside you. Stick to it. Love yourself. Spread love in the world, and just try to be the best persons you can be. You know what I mean? And I want prosperity for everybody. I want everybody to be able to eat. Just, I just want the best for everyone.
Yeah.
We're coming out. We're gonna come out of this on the other side, and we all gonna be better for it.
That's right.
Praise God, praise the universe, praise everything. I just want the best for everyone. Thank you.
Yo, that's deep. And Yannick, man, DJ Yannick, I love you for that, man. And Funkin, we love you for all the comments. Brenda Woods out there in Ohio, I ain't forget you, sweetie. I know you always watching, man. This brother has been phenomenal. This is just part one of many, many interviews with, Greg Sanders. You're a blessing. You're my family now. I'm your family now. I ride or die with you, bro. And somebody, and DJ Yannick said, can I just say, G-Rock, I think I have worms. So I don't know what that's about. But I get it. Just don't be crawling on the carpet like the dogs. That's the first thing I thought about. On this show, we so organic and real. This is why I love doing it. Thank God I have this insanity to be sanity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's beautiful. Thank you, G-Rock. I love you, man. I usually do a shout out at the end. So if anybody you want to shout out, now's the time to do it. And just let them know, what's going on, how you feel, man. Then we get out of here, man.
Well, basically, I pretty much shout everybody out, but I want to shout you out and thank you for having me, man. And I've been watching you, and you got such a beautiful spirit, brother.
Thank you,
man.
Man,
I'm gonna feel good all day after this interview, man.
Yeah, we always get to that point somewhere. My heart touches and tears come out of joy because I'm just blessed, man. And I'll tell you my story some other time, and we'll get into some music stuff, man. But right now, we get ready to get out of here. Funk from the front seat. Hang out with us, G-Rock, as we do our roll call, and we let everybody know how we feeling and what we doing, because we want everybody out there to understand peace, love, and harmony.
Are you down with it? There's a revolution, y'all. Spiritual revolution. Detroit was in the house all day, y'all. What's up? I love it. We're going to have you on. New York City, Jersey, Maryland, D.C., Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Minneapolis, Ohio, Missouri, Kansas City, California, Texas, New Mexico. Como estas, señoritas? Woo! Canada, where you at? Around the world in Russia. What's up, Taiwan? How you doing? What's happening, Korea? Annyeong haseyo. I love you. Australia, what you doing? Germany, hey, put your hands up. Let's take it out. Spread peace and love to the world. 9 on the Grind TV, Funk from the front seat. Mr. G-Rock, Greg Sanders was in the house all day. Woo! I love you all out there. Yeah. Shout out, special shout out. Love all y'all today. Bootsy and Patty, love you. Benevolent Funk, Otis Hawk, Tony Cam, Joe Key, Philip Polly, Patty, Curtis, P-Funk Radio, Gorilla Funk Mob, P-Funk Outlaws. Woo! G-Rock, I love you, bro. We get ready to put on our sunglasses and beam on out of here. Are you down with it? Funk from the front seat, right here, 9 on the Grind TV, every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out. Love y'all today. Nothing but love for you. Thank you for tuning in. Keep them coming. We get ready to get up out of here. I'm going to beam up out of here. I'm going to be up in Detroit soon. We're going to get some work done. G-Rock, fabulous guest. I love you, brother.
I love you,
from
bro.
the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough. We had such a good time, man. I love you, man. I love you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Nothing but love for you, man. I'm going to call you in a bit, all right? Let's get out of here, Mark. Be behind the glass. Thank you, Mark.